I don't lost track of how many or what number thing I was on, but I am on number 4 now. Um, yeah, okay. So I get to my new school, Lipscomb University, and I noticed a huge change and shift in my own self, which was one, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just came here for school. I don't want to be friends with anybody. I don't want to get close to anybody. I don't want anybody to know me because the last time people knew me, they decided to try to use that whatever I'm doing against me, or try to ruin my career. But honestly, just ruin my pharmacy career before it even can get off the ground. In the school, they were like great people, man. They were nice. They're like, hey, why don't you join this organization? We know that you did this before. Why don't you do that? You're the class president. They had a class president, but and she was great. But it's like, why don't you do these other things and get involved and stuff? And I was like, I think I'm just gonna focus. Da da da. I'll just lock in, and it sucked too because so many things are altered, like my career trajectory. I wanted initially to be a hospital pharmacist, do a residency and do all these things and use the like my all the good things that I'm doing, whatever, to like make myself an amazing candidate so I can be a hospital pharmacist and things. But because after that I'm doing zero leadership things at all. After that, you kind of just get stuck a little bit. You're like, well, you're just gonna do the retail pharmacist track, graduate, be a retail pharmacist. Excuse me, retail pharmacist, go from there. And I was like, hey, that's fine as long as I graduate. I don't want no static. I didn't talk to anybody. I was nervous about everything. If I was ever got an email from my school, I was like, oh my god, like this is the one. Any meetings and stuff with teachers, whatever. Like I was just so anxious. I could not enjoy myself. I could not, you know, be social. I couldn't do anything. And it almost like started to take my love, not of pharmacy, because I was still working as a pharmacist and stuff like that. Like I still love that part, but it's just just like the politics that went along with it and everything. Like it just altered me. It truly did. For all 3 years, I was like, man, I'm not gonna do nothing extra. And everyone was so cool. Everyone was so good and nice and all that stuff. The professors, man, very helpful. But I'm like, look, I'm came here to focus, and I'm just focused, man. All my grades were still up. That did not change. All classes passed because again, I'm like, man, it took so much to get here, and then so much to stay here. There's no way that you know, I got this second chance at life that I shouldn't even had to have used my second chance at life, and I'm let something like a grade or something like that mess me up. So I just head down, went and just only did school stuff, and it fucking sucked. It was hard. Pharmacy school is just hard. You're getting a doctorate. You're gonna be a doctor. It's hard. There's nothing you can do or say about that. It is what it is. But there's that extra stress that came with it. It also adds on to, like, as I'm studying, like, yo, like you said you were gonna study. You don't do anything else. Like, you better study. And it just became so much just drilled in, and it was not a pleasurable time, by any means. I'm sure for a lot of people they say, yeah, pharmacy school is not pleasurable, and it isn't. But it just you know, I just, because of my past experience, man, I just was so scared of everything. I didn't want to do anything. The only thing that I did do leadership wise while I was at Lipscomb University College of Pharmacy is I joined the admissions committee. And as much as UTHSC wants to say I'm a racist against black people, my main goal, with for the admissions committee. So that's when I was one of the people that interview potential students and stuff like that. Every Mainly every black person, but pretty much every minority, I basically advocated for them in every way I could. Whenever we were, after we did the interview with them or whatever, afterwards, like, the resume wasn't that strong, grades weren't that good, da da da. And I'd be there like, well, I mean, yeah, but when you hear the background story, you know that they're going to be a passionate pharmacist. They're going to give their A1. I did all these things to advocate for every black person I could. And honestly, will say this. I feel like every black person that had interview dates when I was like on the schedule to be part of the committee, whether I was the one that interviewed them or not, I advocated for them crazy, and they all got accepted to Lipscomb College of Pharmacy. Um, I did my thing with that. That's because that's the type of person I am. I still say, man, these niggas better get their shit right so that they can graduate. But they still my niggas, you know what I'm saying? So I did all those things. But yeah, was pharmacy school hard? That was the main question. Was pharmacy school hard? It was very, very difficult. You have to study. You have to, put your A1 into it. I've seen people fail out. I've seen people have to repeat years. That was never my story. It was never going to happen. But it was so much more difficult because of the shit that I had to fucking deal with because of racist ass Dr. Tim Self and the non-caring, non-helping dean of students, Marie Chisholm Burns. And the worst part too, so Dr. Self apparently has this big name all through Tennessee. Everyone knows him. And I've literally had to eat shit all the fucking time because, other professors, other students, his name rings bells, they're like, oh my gosh, like, did you ever get taught by Dr. Tim Self and all this other shit? And I have to be like, yeah, he taught like a class or two, whatever. And I wanted to tell him like, yo, if I see that dude, I'm going to put a fucking voodoo on him. You know what I'm saying? It was that. But I had to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, I heard good things. Yeah, he's pretty good. He only did like one chorus, whatever, smoking cessation, whatever the fuck. But fuck dude. Fuck dude. Fuck dude. Fuck Dr. Tim Self. Come on, what would Dr. Martin Luther King, what would Barack Obama say if they saw you right now? Hey, how's it going? Dr. Martin Luther King would say, yo, watch out, man. You in Memphis, man. They kill me out here. Watch out for these niggas. That's what he would say. So, yeah, that's my answer to that question. I couldn't answer, how is it, was it difficult to be a pharmacist in just 60 seconds? So, I had to make a little story out of it. Life is good. I'm a pharmacist now. I've been a pharmacist since 2018. Still acting and everything too. So, the dream is not deferred. It's not lost. Things are still gonna work out for me as they always do. I had to get past that PTSD and depression and shit. I'm a very social person if you know me, and, I could be a social butterfly again.